Welcome to our crime channel. Prepare yourself for a chilling exploration into the twisted world of one of Britain's most infamous couples. Fred West was born in Muchmarcle, Herefordshire, England. He had a troubled childhood and a difficult family life. As an adult, he engaged in various criminal activities, including theft and fraud. He married Rose Letts in 1972. Crimes. Fred West, along with his wife Rose, was responsible for a series of sexual assaults, murders, and acts of sadistic violence. They targeted young women, including their own daughters and stepdaughters. The victims were often lured to their home, known as the House of Horrors, where they were subjected to extreme abuse, torture, and eventually murder. The exact number of their victims remains unknown, but it is believed that Fred and Rose West were responsible for the deaths of at least 12 individuals. The remains of some victims were found buried beneath their house and in other locations, leading to the exposure of their crimes, capture, and legal proceedings. The crimes of Fred and Rose West came to light in 1994 when one of their daughters disclosed the abuse she had suffered. This revelation prompted a full-scale investigation, resulting in the discovery of multiple bodies. Both Fred and Rose West were arrested and charged with multiple counts of murder and other offenses. Fred West was found dead in his prison cell on January 1, 1995. While awaiting trial, it is believed that he took his own life. Rose West stood trial and was convicted in 1995 for her involvement in the murders. She received a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Legacy. The case of Fred and Rose West shocked the world and became one of Britain's most infamous criminal cases. The extent of their depravity and the systematic abuse inflicted upon their victims appalled the public. Their crimes shed light on the existence of hidden predators and the failures of child protection services in their community. The West case continues to be a subject of fascination, with books, documentaries, and media coverage exploring the disturbing details of their crimes. It serves as a reminder of the need for vigilance in identifying and addressing cases of abuse and the devastating impact such crimes have on the lives of the victims and their families. Here are a couple of theories surrounding Fred and Rose West. Mutual codependency theory. One theory suggests that Fred and Rose West's relationship fostered a toxic environment of codependency. They enabled and reinforced each other's violent and sadistic tendencies, creating a symbiotic relationship based on shared deviance. Fred's manipulative and dominating nature allowed him to exert control over Rose, while Rose's compliance and active participation in their crimes satisfied their shared desires for power, control, and sexual gratification. Psychological trauma and childhood abuse theory. Another theory explores the potential impact of Fred and Rose West's traumatic childhood experiences on their criminal behavior. Both Fred and Rose experienced childhood abuse and neglect, which may have contributed to the development of disturbed personalities and a warped understanding of relationships. This theory posits that their shared history of trauma and early exposure to violence and dysfunction influenced their criminal acts, perpetuating cycles of abuse and violence. These theories aim to provide possible insights into the motivations and psychological factors that may have influenced Fred and Rose West's actions. However, it is important to note that the study of serial killers and abusive relationships is complex, and definitive explanations may be elusive. The true motivations and underlying psychological complexities of individuals like Fred and Rose West can be challenging to fully comprehend. Speculating on what would have happened if Fred West hadn't existed involves contemplating a hypothetical scenario that can never be definitively known. However, we can explore some potential outcomes. Lives saved. If Fred West hadn't existed, the lives of his victims, including young women and his own daughters, would have been spared. They would have been free from the extreme abuse, torture, and murder they suffered at his hands. Their families and loved ones would have been spared the unimaginable pain and trauma caused by his crimes. Prevention of future crimes. Without Fred West's presence, the cycle of abuse and violence perpetrated by him and his wife, Rose West, would have been disrupted. Their victims would have been shielded from further harm and spared the long-lasting physical and psychological effects of the abuse they endured. It is possible that other potential victims may have been spared from falling prey to the West's sadistic acts. Impact on community awareness and response. The exposure of Fred West crimes had a significant impact on public awareness and the response to cases of domestic abuse and child exploitation. The West's case shed light on the need for improved child protection services, increased vigilance in identifying signs of abuse, and the importance of taking allegations seriously. Without his crimes coming to light, the urgency and focus on addressing such issues may have been delayed or altered. Cultural influence. The case of Fred and Rose West shocked the public and became one of Britain's most infamous criminal cases. If Fred West hadn't existed, the specific cultural impact surrounding their story might have been different. Media coverage, documentaries, and true crime narratives influenced by their crimes might have taken on different themes or shifted focus to other notorious criminals. It is important to remember that any speculation about alternative outcomes is purely hypothetical. Fred West's crimes caused immeasurable pain and suffering, and our focus should remain on the victims and their families. Understanding the potential implications of his absence helps highlight the ripple effects of his actions, but it is impossible to fully grasp the intricacies of what might have transpired in a world without his crimes. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey into the dark realm of serial killers. We hope this video has provided you with valuable insights and a deeper understanding of these complex and haunting figures. If you found this content thought-provoking and informative, we would greatly appreciate your likes, comments, and shares